Okay. Hello, everyone. This is the second workshop of the web organized by Web Secretariat on social media communication, where we are trying to share all the best practice that this year we have as as Web Secretariat we learned and share with you and for benefit of your activity as communicator of European federalism. Um, as the last time, I would like to share you the presentation that I prepared. Okay. Can you confirm that you're watching the presentation?
Yeah, it's working.
Thank you. Thank you, Mikhail. Okay, it works. So, for this, the title of this Network Academy is Communicating a Sovereign, Democratic and Federal Europe. I would like to start with the best successful post of this year that as well we did, and just to show you that it is possible to create an effective and impactful communication on social media. Um, in fact, this post was published right after the news um, that Trump and Ursula von der Leyen have agreed the so-called deal about the in Scotland, the famous deal about the tariffs, and as you can see, the visual is descriptive and but very easy. Uh, and with two claims. And what I report to you is the number of visualization uh, that at that time I remember after 1 week reached more than 1 million of visualization. Um and we consider one of the our best post. In fact, I noted also that other people try to copy paste this idea and to reshare this this post. Allora, the objective of this workshop are this workshop it will be not a graphic design course or a theoretical seminar on federalism. What would you like to do today is a practical journey from idea to post. With respect to last time that I talk, I would like that also some of you make intervention with ideas, and we have an exchange about the technique of creating a post. Allora, why communication? Allora, I would like to start with this to introduce the problem of communicating federalism. Federalism, European federalism is a complex idea, and the risk is of being misunderstood or ignored is very high. The problem that I would like to uh, help with communication is not about the content because we have too much content, but about the framing. What framing I would like to make clear that is not uh, doing something simplified, but simply. because if we can't explain federalism simply, we can't make it win. And this is a work that require a little bit of time. But thanks the tools that I would like to share with you and to show how to use in a simple way, this effort can be affordable for everyone. Allora, so from a political idea to clear message. The starting point is our political message. And of course, all of you can ask, okay, but where I can find the political message of the WEF? Because if it's so complex, it's difficult to find the starting point. So what I propose to all of you is to go to our website um, and to check in the website our starting point, where is the political message that has been approved by the institutional bodies of the WEF. Um, just to simplify and to show you in the website, you can find several sections. Uh, just to confirm, you continue to work to watch my screen, or the presentation is not more available. Ok, sono in condivisione schermo. Ah, ok, yes. So, just to come back, so the starting point is the website of the web. If you want to find what is the message to share, um, you can start, for example, if you want just to make a post to present European federalists from who we are, and you can find several content. Then you can go in what we do, just to make clear what UEF does and to have a clear idea what what European Federalist. And then if you want to go in depth, and there is this section called Our Political Priorities, where we have tried to summarize in this section all the most political objective of the WEF, the so-called political priorities. Uh, all these sections are created based on the um, political resolution or statement approved by the institutional bodies of the WEF. In fact, you can find a reference to all of those documents. The most complete part, just to be sure that this position is of wealth, you can find always in the section resolution and statements, where are uploaded all the resolution and statement of the last 15 years. Um, in general, when I would like to start with the creative process, I use this section to find if political aspect is covered by the web. And I try to find here, for example, if I want to have the most recent position about European defense and foreign policy, I use, for example, this resolution. And I don't want to reveal then how to use it. I would like to show you a continue the presentation, because then when I show you the tools, I show you how to use also this resolution and not to invest too much time in the creative process. Now I would like to show you, uh, taking care of the political mesa, how we can apply this, some example of application of this message. For example, see if the starting point of the political message is to do a post about European sovereignty. Um, One idea, for example, to conceptualize this concept, to conceptualize this idea of European sovereignty is, for example, what I show you in the last uh, in the last workshop, the idea, for example, a comparison among a divided Europe with a enlarged, unified, and reformed European Union. This idea came to me after the was approved the Gozzi report that had was published with this strong claim, uh, compl- um, reform the Union to unify Europe. This visual that I showed to you was published right yesterday evening and was quite successful. In fact, I was astonished that in 2 hours I received more than 1,000 likes and 20,000 views. As you see, it's a very simple composition, and the idea that I found, and I took the idea from a Greenpeace post that is using the same phrase for a lot of example to show this difference among the past and what is the future that we advocate. Always about European sovereignty, another idea to conceptualize this strong uh, concept is, for example, creating the comparison among using the flags and the flags associating to the concept of power. So if we have a small circle flag, we have a small power, like for example Italy, France, and Germany, in comparison with the United States. And always using the circle to show the alliance and or the organization that that those member states, those states belong, and put those difference that is the so-called today with what we advocate, so the United States of Europe, and showing you that what we advocate is a unified, sovereign Europe that can play in pair uh, with the United States. Another idea to express the European sovereignty that I've shown you similar to the before and to show the small countries around the European Union that is our consider a sort of geopolitical bloc and put in comparison with the so-called empires. When I talk about European defense, here the conceptualization have to be a little bit, we have to go in a little bit in deep because it's not simple to explain European defense. So the best way that I found to explain is because in the European federalist point of view, uh, we have we have to say and to say to the public, to the citizens, that we have no, at the moment, European defense. What we have is a debate on the European defense. We need European defense. So if we want to show what is the reality, what we have achieved at the moment, is always to show the difference that there is a European Union that have no military power in comparison with member states that have military power. And to simplify this, I use these icons that in Canva are you can find in the section graphics, and with this line dividing European Union with no military power against member states. What is the European defense today is the fact that European Union is trying to is giving billions of euro for joint purchase of weapons and make easily connect the member states. I think that with this visualization, with this visual, people can understand that we have no reflect on the fact that we have no military power and we need that. Another conceptualization that I would like to give you as example about the concept of democracy beyond the nation state, because those in those months we have talked a lot about democracy uh, in comparison with the fact that in several member states uh, democracy is risking in confront of the debate about the decentralization of powers or reduction of freedom of speech. So I created this, for example, this visual to make understandable what we refer with the democracy and to introduce the concept of federalism. In fact, when we talk about democracy, we talk always the principal aspect is the power to the people, but never forget that we advocate for a federal Europe because democracy is also a vertical concept. Another way to explain this is trying to use a sort of memes. Um, this is an example that I found. This is a poster, the power of the images. Um, I found this poster that was used for fundraising of a section of um, a, a military Russian brigade. And so I use this to ridiculize the fact that they show their vision of Putin, of Xi, of muscular and with steroid, similar people that take steroid, and so to make a irony with this aspect to explain what is imperialism. And the second slide is to explain better what is nationalism in our point of view. I found that these images in social media there is no problem with the public rights with the intellectual property, and so I reused in a very successful post to explain in a ironic way what is nationalism. Then another concept, political message that I give you as an example is about treaty change or what we call the federal leap. Uh, and so a way that I found try to conceptualize is about the hot topic that Russia and his hybrid war against uh, against the European Union. And with this a sort of uh, uh, all with these lines with arrows with a small sentence just to explain how it's difficult for European Union manage a debate because we are not a unique institution, but in reality we found a political solution only as at the level of head of the states in the European Council. Uh, Another idea that I can give to you, you can reuse in your communication, is the power using the power of timeline and milestones. For example, in the in the day of the 1st of November 1993, there was the Treaty of Maastricht enter into force. So during this day, of course, 2 months ago, to remember it, I made a post to remember this important milestone of European Union, but I use also the occasion to explain and to imagine that one day we can live not more in European Union, but in European Federation. So that this is I think, a way very simple to remember a data, remember the milestone that we achieve, but never forget that what we achieved in the past needs to be completed in the future. And we have to always remember to our audience that we are here to complete this house that is not finished. Sorry. So, the simplification process from abstract concept to understandable message. The question that you find when you have to work on it is what is the problem, what does it matter now, and what changed with the federal Europe. So those are the point of view those are the questions that you have to take when you create a post. Uh, First question, what is the problem? Second question, okay, now that I would like to explain this problem, uh, how does it matter now? And the final question to that with the answer you built, giving you the answer you built the post, and what changed with the federal Europe? So, as you can see, the possible visual narratives that works for Europe are, for example, a visual contrast, the comparison, the geography as storytelling, and timeline and milestones. Just to come back to the what I recent explained, the simplification process applies. For example, I would like, I have the idea. mm, I remember in June the idea to promote the fact that Bulgaria enters in the Eurozone. So here there is no problem, but what is the topic? Okay, I would like to give this news to my audience, but uh, I want to give this news, but also recall our political and key message. The fact that enter in the Eurozone means enter in a core of European countries that have a federal power. And so with this post, I would like just um, to create a assonance among the federal power and the federal Europe, and remind to our audience and that the euro is not only a currency, but is the most advanced federal power that European Union has at the moment. Uh, those I remember that this post create a lot of rumor, was share a lot of time, and just to give into you the idea, the power of the map, because the algorithm of Facebook and Instagram try to promote every time the map, all the content that have a map inside, because they because the algorithm interpret it as a content that people like, people stop to watch, to read, and to understand, and so is a content to promote. One message, one post. The common mistake that I would like to make understandable is avoid to try to say everything with only one post. Better reduced, be minimal. Um, if you want to create a post in Instagram, so create a carousel, uh, and the golden rule that I try also to apply to my works is one idea equal one post, because if we try to say everything, is a damage for our works. And for that reason, the power of simplification, conceptualization, or the power of the maps help to you to keep simplify the message. Until this moment, is everything okay? Would you like to stop and make some question? Do you have any question? Okay, no. So I can continue. Now I would like to show to you the tools that I use in general. I think that this is the most practical part. I, as the artificial intelligence as a communication assistant, um, I know that all of us are using nowadays programs of generative artificial intelligence in our daily activities. Uh, I find um, tools like ChatGPT very useful for my work, in particular for research, message framing, simplifying complex ideas, or drafting caption for different platforms. I would like to just give you a demonstration in comparison with what I did. Uh, so I open. Okay, now you can. I use ChatGPT. I use the version with abonnement, so I have access to ChatGPT 5.2. Um, Previously, I told you that for example, a starting point for a creation of a post could be using the resolution that that we approve by the UEF. So, for example, one way to create a post starting from our political content is taking one resolution. In general, ChatGPT can enter and read if you give the authorization. And if the if this website is have no like a level of protection about some contents. And for example, I give him the prompt. is- Allora, I'm using a very brutal and simplified prompt. In general, I'm more specific. In general, I'm using other content, but just to show to you uh, the way. Just to be clear, I don't use ChatGPT to create images. I use just for very, very reduced graphic activities, something that I cannot do alone, but not a complete new images. What I use, but this is one idea, is for example giving you post ideas because the creative process on this, starting from the political content, is the most difficult part. And given that, for example, I asked for 5 Instagram post ideas, and ChatGPT uh, is able to give to you 5 example complete of idea of visual and caption connected. In fact, it's thanks ChatGPT that some ideas I can realize, starting from this creation of visual ideas. Of course, not everyone, but is a good help. Was a good help to create and to generate uh, more ideas associated to our political message. In fact, stand with Ukraine, stand for peace, a flag wrapped around a Ukraine flag silhouette, heartbeat, threats are evolving, our response must too. And this, for example, this is not bad as idea. In fact, it's not so different what I did in general. Um, Another idea that I had, for example, that I'm out, um, quick research, message framing, then, as I said, simplifying complex ideas, drafting captions for different platforms. This is something also useful that I do in general, drafting caption. And in general, this is at the end of my work when I have to create. I have an idea, I realize the idea, but now I have to put the good description to the work. Uh, just to show you, come back to here, for example, an idea that in general I use to drafting caption is I give to him, for example, yesterday was the birthday of the anniversary of the foundation of the UEF. I have created these images, this image with a cake with a 79 written, and I ask, analyze. So what one very powerful thing of ChatGPT is analyzing the image and taking your instruction and generate a caption or a text according to your text. Of course, the most of the time I don't use complete all the message. I try to arrange because, of course, ChatGPT, you know, it's not so intelligent to one to 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 take all the message that I have in mind. But it is very useful to create the draft for your work. And one another good thing that help a lot to you is generate different caption according the platform. Of course, as well, we don't pay X, and so we have the limitation of the number of character that I use in my presentation. Every time that I post in in X. In fact, as you can see, can generate longer, a short text or a longer text, or according, for example, in LinkedIn, not only longer but with a different tone, less social and more formal and academic. At this moment, do you have some question, remarks? Um, everything clear? Okay. Um, I would like to continue with the presentation. I show to you some application of artificial intelligence to help you in your work of social media. Now I would like to show to you Canva. In Canva, you can find it's a powerful instrument. I show to you that using the link template, you can download all the works that I did this year, Um, Very important is through. Um, so what I invite to you is to reuse the in my works and try to reuse in your works. I think that everything is quite intuitive and simplified. Um, just one thing when you prepare a visual is try to avoid to use too much text in a visual because too much text is difficult to be read by the readers. So if you use Instagram, the best is create a carousel, so more slides. So the first visual is just to giving you the to catch the attention of your audience, and with the second visual, you give all the content that you would like. At the moment with Instagram, the limit of a carousel is of 20. Before was 10, now it's 20 slides. So you have more space, time to create. I don't want to go to Canva and to give a demonstration because I think that we needed. I think that I did just enough showing you all the possible visual activity, but I would like to show to you this online and free software map chart to create maps that I think is could be very useful also not only for visual social media communication but also for works like creating I don't know, a map that you include in a flyer or in a presentation or to use for communication in a website. Uh, so the software that I introduced to you is called Map Chart. I put here in the chat, so you can save this link. MapChart is a very intuitive and free software. Um, you can create a detailed maps, also historical maps, for example, the Europe of World War One or Europe of World War Two. But as you can see, you can create also maps of other continents, including the words. But what is interesting for us is uh, is the Europe. Yeah, this is also the map of the region. If you want to create a super detailed map about, I don't know, the difference of income of all the region. But the most used map that I use more is about Europe. It's very intuitive because the step is just select the color you want and click on a country map. So you can select the the color that you want and start clicking the country. I don't know, a map of the European Union. Simply I click all the countries of the European Union with the same color. But it's possible also to create a different color and And so, what's happening? I don't know what happened, but I continue to show to you. And you can select the color, you can give a label, for example, to the country. You can select also the background, also the border color. So you want to change the border or delete the border. So you have a more compact visualization. You can also show the names, but in general I don't do because I don't like what they. And there is also this option show the borders inside the UK. And then you can create the legend, and at the end you can download it. And so you have a complete map that you can reuse, for example, in works in Canva. For example, I upload now the map that we did, that I did, and use to my content. Of course, if I don't want to watch this country legend, I cut a little bit, I reduce to have something that I can use in my works. And there are a lot of examples that I can tell you, maps. One time also I asked to ChatGPT to make possible use of this type of content because are quite successful every time that I do for social media. But then there is a little bit of work then of selecting or finding the good data and so on. So from draft to publisher post, I put here some advice. If is the message readable in 3 seconds? Does it work without caption? In fact, the most of the post should be works without a caption, should be understandable without an explanation. Is it shareable? Means that I can share with other people and ask just for example for the translation. There is an opening hook. Hook, what does it mean? Means the first visual that is attractive and attract the attention. Don't want to inform too much, but the intention is attract the attention and give you curiosity. For example, for a carousel, what you want is that people continue to read. If there is the core message, and if at the end, and the final check at the end of the post or of the caption, there is a call to action that is follow us, share this post, join the UEF, or donate. But one of the call to action that I'm trying to use in a lot of posts is a call to donate to the UEF. So I interact with their message and I ask a small donation if you want to support the UEF. This is the final slide, the final, the last slide of this presentation, and it is about. So what I can say at conclusion that the European federalism can be communicated clearly. You don't need to be a designer, and in fact, I am the perfect example because I never studied to be a designer. I study law. I have a double degree law. Uh, so it's simply practice. Uh, Tools serve ideas, not the other way around. And communication is a political action. So take it serious and think that every post is a is a way to attract people to European federalism. Um, And with those words, I conclude my presentation and I'm available. And now, if you want to talk among us, we have, I think, 20 minutes for sharing ideas, impression, or if you want any doubt or want to see what I do in ChatGPT or Canva to do something in specific that you would like to do, I'm available also for it to as demonstration. Would you like to do intervention, Mihai? Or
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I didn't thought before when creating something, going from the political resolutions. Uh, that's an excellent idea. I want to try it right away. It's a it's a good idea. I was thinking kind of backwards, looking for ideas instead of now makes sense. I can look for the resolutions and come up with ideas first, and then go and try to build something. So that was a
yeah,
big thing
I
for me.
think that ChatGPT is a powerful instrument for this thing because starting from just to advise, so I put in general the link, but sometimes ChatGPT don't read everything, so better making a brutal copy paste of the content in ChatGPT, and so and for ChatGPT sometimes it's better and help to be more precise in his analysis and resuming activity. Um, yes,
Yeah. Thank you.
thank you, Mikhail. Pierre, Leonardo, oh, Matthias, so well. Would you like to add something? Everything is clear. Have you already experimented ChatGPT in your activities? Um, so if there are other things, I just would like to give you my last demonstration. Uh, this is about a software that I didn't include in the presentation. It's called Nano Banana. And I think that everyone have listened sometimes to Nano Banana. That is this high generative image generative powerful tool of Gemini that to edit or create a new images. What I've done with the Nano Banana instead of, for example, I have created murals, for example, to promote our fundraising campaign based on the works of Lorenzo Epis. I asked to Nano Banana to take this visual, this poster, and to transform in a graphics uh, of I give who is okay. The prompt is in Italian of a size of 5 meter per 8 meter in a palace uh, that looks like in Paris, in a road, in a traffic road. And so this is the result. As you can see, um, it's so this image is so looks like so realistic that I receive in comments in Instagram people asking where can I find these graphics? Please tell me the street or the square, um, and just that. And this is a new frontier of political communication using artificial intelligence also to create fictional images. Of course, I think that as well, we never do as as does the President Trump that create a complete fictional world or idea. We are trying to simply giving a more in a sympathetic and ironic way more consistency to our works. And I think works quite. On another idea is simulating that our stickers, because the poster of Lorenzo, the poster of this fundraising action, also a sort of sticker simulating to put in the placket of the, for example, here the president Putin. Here I made a lot of attempts. This is what I publish, for example, putting in the ringtone of several sovereignist and populist political leaders. Another attempt is, for example, Christine Lagarde that take this the take in her hand the the poster. I show you the powerful that is this tool because I give her the images, free images that you can find in Wikipedia, the poster, and then artificial intelligence generate the hand that take the poster in the hand. And with this, I conclude my presentation. And if there are no questions or statements, um, I I I enjoy to all of you. A good evening.